U.S.-China relations are at a low point. Tensions flared over spy balloons and China's close ties to Russia. In the minds of U.S. officials, a dreaded escalation would be China invading Taiwan, which could potentially drag U.S. forces into a conflict with China. The Washington Post reports the Chinese military is bolstering its cyber efforts to attack key American infrastructure in the event of a conflict. It coincides with the release of a new report from the House Select Committee on the Chinese Communist Party that says the United States lacks a contingency plan for the economic and financial impacts of conflict with the People's Republic of China.
The inescapable economic reality is that the United States remains dangerously dependent on the CCP.
For things like semiconductors and rare earth minerals, the committee says, putting forth 150 recommendations to fortify America's economy and put it in a position to outcompete China. Calling for a reset of the U.S.-China trade relationship to crack down on unfair practices, restrict the flow of U.S. investment and technology that fuels China's military modernization and human rights abuses, and make sure the U.S. leads the world in tech advances like artificial intelligence.
If we don't get back where we are a world power and where we can build and make things over here, China is going to rub our nose in the dirt.
All of this comes with risk. For example, American farmers could be the target of Chinese retaliation if the U.S. were to change its normalized trade status or hit China with new tariffs. One model by Oxford Economics shows a scenario like that could cost the U.S. economy almost $2 trillion over 5 years and eliminate more than 800,000 jobs. Many of the committee's recommendations are aimed at Congress, but there is a role for the private sector, too. They'd like to see American banks undergo stress tests by the Federal Reserve to see how they'd hold up if they were ever suddenly cut off from the Chinese market. In Washington, I'm Atrell Nashar.